Welcome back to my Pretty Little Liars rewatch series. We're diving into season 1, episode 3, To Kill a Mockingjay. And honestly, this is the episode where you really start to understand just how manipulative A is. The girls are already exhausted from constantly looking over their shoulder, but A is only getting started. The episode opens with the girls still trying to process Allison's death while pretending to live normal lives. Of course, that becomes impossible because A keeps reminding them that their biggest secrets aren't safe. Arya is still struggling with her relationship with Ezra, and they know they shouldn't be together, especially now that he's her English teacher. But neither of them seem willing to walk away. Ezra tries to set boundaries, but every time they agree to stop seeing each other, something pulls them together. Looking back now, it's amazing how differently this storyline feels as an adult than it did when I first watched it. Back then it was presented as an epic romance, but now it's hard to ignore the power imbalance between a teacher and his student. At home, Arya is also carrying the burden of her father's affair. Byron still expects her to keep his secret from Ella, and you can see how much pressure that's putting on her. She's constantly caught between protecting her family and doing what's right. Meanwhile, Emily spends more time with Maya, and their friendship continues to grow. Maya has this way of making Emily feel comfortable being herself. Emily clearly enjoys being around her, but she's still nervous about what those feelings might mean. Her parents, especially her mother, have very traditional expectations, and Emily is terrified of disappointing them. Hannah is just trying to keep up her image as one of the most popular girls, but life at home is getting harder. Ashley Marin is doing everything she can to provide for Hannah, and you can already see how much she's struggling financially. Hannah puts on a confident face at school with Mona, but underneath it all, she's worried about her mom and their future. Spencer can't stop thinking about what happened with Ren. Melissa's still furious about the kiss, and the tension inside the Hastings house is unbearable. Spencer always seems to be compared to Melissa, and nothing she does is ever good enough. It's easy to understand why she constantly feels like she has to prove herself. One of the biggest storylines in this episode involves Toby Cavanaugh. Because of everything that happened with Jenna, everyone in Rosewood treats Toby like he's dangerous. The girls aren't sure what to believe about him, especially because Allison always acted like he was someone to fear. But as we watch him, he really doesn't seem like the monster everyone makes him out to be. It makes you start to question whether Allison manipulated the truth more than we realized. And then A strikes again. The anonymous messages aren't just creepy anymore, they're strategic. A knows exactly what each girl is afraid of and keeps forcing them into impossible situations. Every text increases the paranoia, and you can feel the girls starting to wonder if they can even trust each other. One thing I noticed on this rewatch is how isolated each girl is. Even though they're becoming friends again, they still try to solve most of their problems alone. If they had been completely honest with each other from the beginning, I always wondered how much different things could have turned out for them. My favorite scene in this episode is where Toby appears, knowing everything we learned later in the series. It's fascinating to watch those early episodes again. You can see how quickly everyone judged him because of rumors and Allison's influence. There are also so many little moments where the camera lingers just a little too long on certain characters. The show constantly makes you suspicious of everyone, and that's one of the reasons the mystery works so well. Even background conversations start to feel important. My biggest takeaway from episode 3 is that Rosewood isn't just full of secrets, it's full of assumptions. Everyone thinks they know everyone else's story, but almost nobody actually knows the truth. I'd give this episode probably an 8 out of 10. It doesn't have a huge shocking ending of the pilot, but it does an incredible job building the mystery and making you question almost every character on the screen. Now, I want to hear from you guys. When you first watched Pretty Little Liars, did you think Toby Cavanaugh was guilty of something? Or did you feel bad for him right from the beginning? Because I do. Let me know in the comments. Because I feel like almost everyone changes their opinion of Toby after rewatching the series.